Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's game 2 of EG versus Team Dignitas, and Team Dignitas, despite, well, whatever odds were against them, have taken game 1, Korok OD, pretty scary stuff, and all around, just Team Dignitas working much better together as a unit. The supports roamed a lot better. Infinity played well in the off lane. Bleak farmed up a Storm on the Weaver.
Speaking of which,
it was just good stuff, man.
Speaking of odds, I want to know.
Yeah, let's check it out. Ben's not here, Merlin's not here. We need to
know.
get our rares odds for this match.
It was 72% EG,
Yeah.
28% Dignitas.
I would have said that's about right. But
Not 78-20, not 70-30.
dude, have you seen Dignitas lately?
I have.
Losing to DTS 2010?
But, I mean, that was after, again,
Losing to
EG
4FC.
beating DTS 2010. Just one match and the hype.
Yeah, but it was like Dignitas lost 2-0 to 4FC.
Now, Kaipi versus Menace, that's 80-20. That's something you can stand behind on. I go 90-10.
Alright. Yeah. I my res be on
Yeah.
Kaipi.
Kaipi's-
Kaipi are tryhards. They won't throw games like Navi do in Star Ladder.
There you go. And they have Bringer of Rare, so.
Well, we're in game 2 draft, and Team Dignitas have pulled some shenanigans out. They pick up the Razor and OD together, denying EG the Razor to counter the OD, and also, once again, going back to that Korok OD mid. Probably looking towards Bleak playing the tri-lane Razor.
Yeah, I think Team Dignitas, one thing they can be doing is banning out a lot of pushing supports. Or counter pushing supports, excuse me. Because what does Team Dignitas do if a push comes their way?
They have nothing right now.
Well, they have I guess, a Razor.
They can look to pick up some, and the main thing is they can't do is split push. Even if they get some AoE heroes, their heroes can't really be mobile on the map. They always sticking together as a group. So I feel banning out something like a Nature's Prophet is actually, well, there's a Clockwork already picked up by EG, so most likely they've got their offlane.
Support, Clockwork.
You put it with the support Nagasaran though.
I mean, no,
Probably not.
no, but you can.
You can put it mid. Oh no, you can't really put it mid. No, you don't want to put it mid.
Not
So
gonna
I
get
think
him.
they're not worried about the Nature's Prophet just because of the Clockwork already picked up if you're Dignitas, but we'll see. We can look towards EG banning out the Chen. They know that Dignitas lacking in supports and also probably want some strong early game power of their own. Especially with a Razor, you can go fairly offensive with this hero if you want to.
Have we ever seen a Razor offensive trialing win?
Yes. Well, I have.
I haven't.
I have.
In the last, I don't know how many games we've seen it play like that. So, if Team Dignitas goes offensive trialing Razor, I'm gonna call this game done. 1-1, EG Team Dignitas.
What makes it so weak?
I don't know. It just
don't think
doesn't
it's
never actually wins a lane.
It's more like it works against like your melee farm. That's where I've seen it work in the past week or two. I think at least once. I want to say even twice.
Remember, it was
if
who
you're
was
against
the
like
team
an
that
alchemist or something, it's like how does the alchemist farm? You have a Razor plus another range support plus like
it was a Bane Razor Chen offensive trialing.
that's a Chen.
And they come.
No. I think you're looking at that's a Chen offensive trial and failing, not the Razor offensive trial and failing.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how this Razor is going to be played and whether it's going to be offensive trialing or not. But for what's worth, EG is definitely banning out some of the more dangerous offensive trialing heroes, the Chen included, as well as the Crystal Maiden.
All right, well, the Dignitas, third pick coming up now. They've revealed a lot of their draft. That's the one big sort of problem with picking up these two heroes early on is that EG know what's coming their way. As far as OD, almost guaranteed to be in the middle lane. You can always look to switch things up a little bit here and there, but there's no one left in the pool who straight up beats OD once Razor's not there.
Apparently, Kunkka doesn't do it.
Nope.
We've seen Dueling Mate actually have a fairly good success with it.
The CM Clockwork lane.
Yeah, that. Who was the receiving end of that? I think that OD
it was Moo.
Yeah, Moo went 0 and whatever.
0-8, I think, at one point.
Yeah, he just can't recover.
Tongfu still won the game, but
Not because of Moo.
no.
Moo just tanked a lot of stuff.
Okay. Well, Dignitas, it's going to be a Vengeful Spirit pick.
It's gonna be yet another massive amount of defensive stuff. Swap's gonna be a defensive spell. Astro's gonna be a defensive spell. Both of these heroes really good against Clockwork in that regards.
Decent against Clockwork. I mean, VS is just like going to sacrifice herself to save whoever gets hooked, maybe.
Sure.
I'm actually surprised they pick it up so early. I expect, normally they go for stuff like the Nyx Assassin, even the Shadow Demon. I feel like Disruption offers a bit more than, rather than swapping them out, you just disrupt them, then you both live.
Sure.
But Dignitas maybe have something planned with this. As EG pick up the JO Gyrocopter for the safe lane, and, well, we've seen how powerful that can be.
I think it's more or less also denying Team Dignitas to have a gyrocopter, because I'm pretty sure they would want it
I don't think
for
so.
Bleak.
Not with the Razor pickup.
I
They
mean,
need
I don't think
Razors-
Bleak is playing the Razor, is he?
I think so. Well, it's most likely going to be played in the tri-line. of some sort.
I think you're gonna have Infinity and OD playing all of the other lanes, and then you're gonna have Bleak on the safe lane.
Yeah.
10
Well,
seconds
Like
I-
safe lane solo,
or either that or okay. So you think
or maybe
Ra-
Korok on the safe lane solo, and then
5
Bleak on the
seconds
offensive try.
remaining.
with the Razor, I think almost. It could be Infinity on the Razor, but unless it's not like a hero that you can just put in the offlane as an offlane solo.
I mean, we look at these heroes. These heroes just like not really like Queen of Pain or Dragonite or Storm. Like they're more
it's
traditional.
so single target.
No. What I'm saying, they're more traditional Korok and Infinity heroes. These are like, yeah.
The Razor, you think?
The Razor isn't. I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of your lane dominators, which is fine, but they don't snowball hard.
Well, Infinity's sort of been put onto that offlane role, which I'm sure he's not thrilled about, but he's done a good job so far for Dignitas in that offlane. Much better than Korok on his bounty hunter.
Korok's bounty was
Probably something that will never. It reminds me of like that one time DK picked Burning Slardar, and it was
Oh,
never,
yeah.
it was never
Oh,
seen again.
yeah.
It was like, okay, Burning, you just can't play this hero, man. We're not drafting
10
it.
seconds
I mean,
remaining.
to be fair, you can't expect somebody to play a hero that maybe you don't have
5
as much
seconds
practice as
remaining.
your normal role. Maybe if you play enough times, you
We'll
can
practice more.
practice more. There you go.
Radiant team
Practice
wins.
more in these official games.
All right, Dignitas pick up Beastmaster, so
Or
yeah.
is that what we're looking at?
Or a lot of strong auras, but it's like you want to go auras for the pushing power, but neither OD or Razor is actually good at pushing or breaking bases. Razor wants to get an Ag Scepter whose ultimate does affect towers, but
Is this saying, hey guys, we have an OD, so you're gonna get BKB, so we're gonna get Beastmaster and Venge, because we got
Maybe.
auras with the right click and the spells that
10
go through
seconds
BKB? Is that
remaining.
what?
they could have got a Bane instead, which I feel is just a much better hero in
5
general.
seconds
Yes.
remaining.
I mean, sure, there's Clockwork Hookshot, but I still feel Bane can offer a lot, and EG now go Lone Druid.
Team
Against a
Dignitas'
Razor?
turn to
Against-
ban.
OD. Well, that's their logic as far as it's a hero that can do okay-ish against OD at mid.
Yeah, it also will get damage soul in the bejesus out of you during team fight.
Yeah. It's
I'll-
not the worst. You can still get entangles. You
10
can still offer a
seconds
lot, I
remaining.
think, as a Spirit Bear.
Okay.
5 seconds
Well,
remaining.
how, does Dignitas, are they still looking towards an
Radiant
offensive Razor
team
trailing?
back.
Because Beastmaster is an okay offlaner, but he can get zoned out very easily if you've just got a standard trail lane.
I think there are some of the worst heroes you could defensive trialing is with, and that includes an OD, because he wins a lane by himself. That includes a Razor, because he
10
lane sort of
seconds
wins a lane by himself.
Yeah. Well, I think you go offensive trailing with Razor and put like Beastmaster
5
and OD
seconds
as your
remaining.
solo mid
Yeah,
and your,
solo
your
is
safe
safe.
lane
Yeah,
solo.
yeah. I think Beastmaster mid perhaps is actually
Yeah.
better here.
Yeah,
Reserve
give
time.
against Lone Druid. OD can go against Clockwork in the off lane. Beastmaster does okay versus Clockwork. It's not the worst,
Team
but
Dignitas' turn
This
to
is
Alright.
just a very weird draft.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it is push coming out from Team Dignitas.
Radiant-
the last pick
Team
Enigma
pick.
suggests that maybe we are just going towards a standard safe lane farming Razor because Enigma probably in the jungle unless we're seeing some crazy tri lane Enigma. But
So what we're guessing is Beastmaster off lane, Venge Razor, or Venge OD, depending on how they...
I think probably Venge Razor. But
I mean, if you expect the Lone Druid to be mid,
Yeah.
Razor versus Lone Druid, that's a free matchup. You just
Yeah.
link the bear and you have insane damage.
all right.
So, and then I mean, OD Razor,
seconds
they're not like
remaining.
dependent on the rune. It doesn't really matter what lane they go in, as long as they win the lane.
Yeah.
5
Lone Druid at the same time
seconds
doesn't care about
remaining.
runes himself, so
Did they really just pick a Venge and Beastmaster to ensure them Enigma pick
Reserve
to not get his Black Hole cancel? Is that
10 seconds
I don't think
That's
so.
a lot of
I don't think
investment.
you. I don't think you look that far ahead with the draft and plan that much out.
but there's no reason to pick Venge so early then.
They wanted to go auras. They wanted these three heroes. Which hero? I mean, it doesn't matter which one you pick first. I think picking
All
the,
of these are kind of like rare heroes.
I think they decided like these were like they wanted to go an aura pushing strat, and I think VS is like the support. You want to pick up this like your hard support first because EG will look at that and be like, well, they picked up an unusual hard support, but it's still just a support hero. Like it doesn't
Okay.
reveal too much about what they want to do. So I think it was just trying to hide the fact that we're going to be going for these pushing type style of heroes as much as possible, and well, we'll see how this unusual-ish draft works out for Team Dignitas. I like we're seeing something different from them. They win game one with a fairly standard Dignitas style of play and draft, and game two it's like, okay, let's mix things up, go something different.
So we're gonna see Fear playing the support Naga Siren. Universe is gonna be playing the Lone Druid. I'm so used to Fear playing the Lone Druid. Jao's gonna be playing a Gyrocopter. Fogged, of course, he knows this hero really, really well, so
Oh,
he's
yeah.
gonna be playing that. MSS solo mid Clockwork, so we'll see how that
Druid
goes.
in the offlane. I think that, like you say, maybe trying to dodge that Razor matchup at mid lane. But over on the Dignitas side, we see a bit of some role switch ups. Korok on Beastmaster.
Trying to play that off lane.
I don't know, man.
Is this a mid Beastmaster? It can't be because it's not saving.
Could be even safe lane, but we'll see 1437 on the Enigma. It looks like he will be jungling. Infinity going to be playing OD, Outward Devourer, and it looks like he's got the mid items. He's been pulled regen, has an old talisman. PPD going to be playing the Vengeful Spirit. Then finally it's Gable or Bleak playing the Razor.
Okay. Off lane once again. Gotta practice. 1437 is gonna help him eat a creep, so that's gonna help out. He's
Yeah.
gonna try to do a little bit of blocking here.
He's 1v1. Oh, this is a terrible 1v1 matchup for Beastmaster. You cannot. You just do not win this matchup or even break even against a lone druid. No, you fight. I was like I remember I was at the boot camp with the Natural 9 guys before the Asia, and they wanted to see if Beastmaster could 1v1 lone druid. They tried it like 5 or 6 times. There was no way you can do this match. If lone druid plays it right, Beastmaster gets destroyed.
What makes it hard? Tell us.
You can't last hit. You can't stay in the lane. You get harassed. Once you get Orb of Venom, like you're taking so much damage. Once lone druid hits level 5, you can just die if you get unlucky.
Okay.
It's just flat out. At level 5 you get zoned down, and even before then you can't last hit. So I think it's a really unfavorable matchup for Beastmaster.
Well, at least Korok will have some of the pulls because looks like there's no wards on this Ancient. It depends on how Universe, because Universe literally could just send the bear and block the pull if he wants to do that as well. But seems like that's not really what he has in mind. He just wants to free farm the lane, and he is gonna get free farm.
Well, Universe misses the first last hit. Bad start. Bad start. And I just, immediately starts harassing
There's
Korok.
a double damage on Korok, and Korok just can't even...
Yeah. Doesn't really matter if he takes a hit. Universe with tons of regen, and Korok with the same amount, 1 Tango, 1 South, but the regen more valuable for Korok because he's going to be the one under a lot more heat in this lane. Universe will be looking to pick up that Orb of Venom as early as possible.
Okay. Let's see if Korok
How's
could...
Clockwork versus OD mid? This is pretty bad for Clockwork.
Yeah. It's
He started off alright, 4-0 to the 3-2, but I don't think we see that keep up.
no. Infinity's gonna destroy this lane, no questions asked.
Top lane, PPD, well, almost gets himself in a bit of trouble there. As there's 3 Radiant heroes very, very nearby.
This is a fairly questionable offensive trolling. The killing power is there when you have things like Rocket Barrage, as well as Dual Breath, Ice Path. There's a ton of nukes. I expect EG to make a go once both their supports hits level 2. But at the same time, who do you make a go on? Venge is gonna stay fairly far back, and Razor... Well,
EG actually pulled a creep wave as well. They didn't have to do this. This was like a decision Fear made. Like, I'm pulling this creep wave, let's just farm it here and force Razor to last in the tower. And Razor, not a hero who can really last down the tower very easily, but with the help of VS, like if you time your attacks together, you should be able to get most of the CS still.
yeah, I think they just want to get basically farm on the support uncontested. They have level 2 on Jakiro now. Do they have level 2 on Naga? Yes, they do. They could definitely force a kill. There's a ton of burst damage and a ton of range coming from these supports.
Yep. Well, see this tri lane? I feel like this tri lane needs to get killed soon. They're trying to punish the dual lane and the fact that there's an Enigma jungle, but it doesn't feel like they're doing a whole lot right now. They can't actually get the initiations they need to get these kills off.
Yeah, in fact, if you don't get a couple kills right now against this dual lane, it's Enigma that's going to be showing up, and he's going to be forcing a couple kills, because the new and improved Malefice is pretty legit in terms of setting up kills.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad. It's very small stun duration with just level 1, but having the triple stun is really nice. And it looks like EG, they're still playing safe for the moment. 1437, not wanting to really leave this jungle. And looking at bottom, Beastmaster's been more or less zoned out of this lane. He can't even go up. He's struggling to even go up to be an experience range. He's he's not even checking runes right now. He's actually stacking Ancient.
Yeah, he's using WoW Access to do it,
Yeah.
which is the quickest and easiest way. If you look at skill build, he's actually gone for Inner Beast as well. Generally, offlane Beastmaster goes for the Call of the Wild to help him stack and scout things a little bit better, but I think this is more or less... Oh, here comes the initiation, and we talked about this.
I don't think Geo's can get up here. He's got boots. Okay, the boots will help him get close enough.
Ooh, one more hit. Go Fog.
Ice
Right
Path.
click. Flat Cannon from the Razor. What a play from Geo. But looks like Fog's going to be dropping low. Malefice is going to get one kill. The Rocket Barrage's going to come through, but Gable is going to survive. Can we get a second Malefice? In 8 seconds, they will have the
Level
creep
2
chasing.
Malefice. He's got Soaring, so he can just pop that whenever he wants. It looks like he's not going to... Poor Man's Shield is going to negate a lot of the damage, so not going to see the chase continue. But I think that actually works out better for Dignitas, because that's their dual lane versus tri lane, and getting 2 kills, including a kill on the Gyrocopter, is pretty nice for them.
First blood went to Jo though, so
Yeah.
I think they're okay with that exchange as well. EG and as well as Dignitas doing okay, but obviously you have Infinity winning mid, no questions asked there. And on the bot, same thing, but the other direction, Universe just destroying there.
So both teams winning, dominating one of the solo lanes. I feel Clockwork's a hero who can offer a lot more with minimal farm as far as initiating. Beastmaster has the role, but Clockwork's getting more experience at mid lane because you don't get zoned out, and just hookshot a lot more reliable come mid game time.
Yeah. Again, Korok having this aura build on the long lane when you should go Call of the Wild, it just signifies I think Dignitas is looking for some early game aura pushing strat.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately for PBD on the Vengeful Spirit doesn't have really too much levels to speak for.
Alright, well he's had a really tough time getting zoned out quite heavily, but we'll have to see whether this trial looks to go for more, because it looks like Fear is actually not returning to this top lane. He's making his way into the jungle, even towards the middle lane. Not really seeing him. So this offensive dual lane now, and I think that's fine. They do have to be a bit wary of Enigma coming out and ganking, but it's Enigma in the enemy jungle, and
did they scout him out? Is that why they all rotated? MSS is here as well. He doesn't have Clockwork Hook, but can they get an entangle there? Just praying for one. And Sarah's going to be there, and that should be the very easy kill.
Yeah, they saw him go into the jungle, I'm guessing, with this, this Observer Ward here. Enigma actually got the bottom 4-minute rune, and I guess went straight into the jungle and got scouted out doing so.
That was a really good rotation. I mean, MSS even came for it, which is generally not something you want out of your solo mid, but what is he going to do in the mid lane? Get Astral? So it's probably even better for his time to dodge that lane and go for a kill.
Get some experience, get some farm. He's back on the mid lane now, getting close to that level 6, and we do see Infinity actually bottle crying. You're an OD mid.
Against the Clockwork.
Yeah, come on now. Come on, Infinity.
That 600 gold is a waste. I don't know about that.
I guess, I mean, there's not really much actually harassing him in this lane, but we'll see top lane. It looks like actually Static Link onto Jared, taking a small amount of damage.
Oh,
Fogged.
Fog. He misses Ice Path. He's dead.
Yeah. Malefic's not up for the time being, but it doesn't matter. The Enigma comes in with Adelons, gets an easy kill on Fogged, who was a bit caught out there. Looks like EG just trying to get a bit too aggressive in the enemy jungle, and Enigma comes in and punishes them.
If you look at the CS chart, it's 33 CS here for our Lone Druid to the 15 of Korok on the bot lane and the Beastmaster. And similarly, Infinity's got 35 to Clockwork's 19. So similar level of dominance on these two solos.
Oh, Enigma's being called out. There's a hook shot up on MSS, and this is a guaranteed kill.
You talked about this. Once MSS gets that level 6, he is going to be a lot more effective in terms of finding these solo support kills.
I think EG got the better off with the 1v1 matchups, because whoever you put against OD is going to lose the lane, but having an off-lane versus safe-lane 1v1 matchup that's this unfavorable is just not worth it for Dignitas.
They're not done just yet. Dual Breath and Ice Path up top, and Bleak. It's going to go down to a Gyrocopter Rocket Barrage. Very nicely done. If you look at JO, the way that they're scaling their skill builds, are expecting to get a lot more kills. You don't generally level up with Rocket Barrage. You generally level up with Flak Cannon for better farming. Here's
the answer to Universe at bottom lane. They've rotated Enigma as well as Vengeful Spirit. He's being chain stunned here. It looks like he's going to get into ulti form way too late. The VS just throws a Howl to give some bonus damage to those wild axes, which do sort of composite, mixed physical and magic damage. So
I think that's perhaps Bleak's mistake to not go into melee.
It's Universe.
Universe, yeah.
He wants to stay in the range form just for the harassment of the Beastmaster, but at this point,
your bear is already doing enough.
Yeah, and it was right after the Enigma had like gone back to base, so it was very easy for a TP to come in.
MSS is going to find himself Vengeful Spirit on the bot lane. The Battery Assault Max is doing so much damage. I think he's going to be okay as well. In fact, he's going to Clockwork Hook forward. Is he going to get... Calldown's going to be doing a ton of damage. Ice Path barely clipping on Korok. 1437 on the run, but you're not running from JO with the face boot. He doesn't have mana for the Rocket Barrage, but the Clockwork Hogs going to bring him down as well. So that push attempt with the Vengeful Spirit Aura build not working out, and EG answering right back.
And this is where like one kill on the Lone Druid's nice and all, but it's not going to really slow down EG all that much. They can rotate so well with the Clockwork. We see Ice Path with the cooldown there doing some serious work, and EG suddenly it's like, oh, we've got 4 heroes at bottom lane. Easy towers to be taken with the Lone Druid's pushing potential, and well, there's no real defensive power from Dignitas apart from the wild axes. There is Plasma Field, but it's just level 2, and Bleak, he just wants to continue farming at this top lane.
I really think that MSS is really carrying the team. Was able to set up a couple kills up top, and then rotate up botting, and basically easily stop the push by himself, and then set up more kills after the TP support came in. So EG playing rather well overall. Fear looking for his level 6 up top. You need that Song of the Siren and the Arcane Boots, so he's getting both right now.
And you talk about MSS, this was a hero who's 1v1 against an OD mid. Normally,
yeah, he just basically tanked it.
He's like, no problem. This is why I think Clockwork is actually not bad against mid lane.
He's waiting for the Astro to come out. He sees the Astro, the hook. Is it going to come in?
Nope, not going to go for it. That's a dire Observer Ward on the other side, so actually both teams with an Observer Ward on their side of the hill, just trying to scout out as much as possible, but Clockwork decides against. He's going to take over this mid lane. Jay going to go back to base, just regen up some of that mana, picks up a Ring of Aquila, we'll get some basic items. And it looks like he may... Well, I guess he can't really take over this bottom lane unless we see Universe going to the jungle. So Jo may find it hard to find space to farm this game.
I mean, Jo, does he have any stacks that he's working with? No, nobody's really stacking. I think Universe perhaps could send his bear once in a while in the jungle and stack it for his ally, but at the same time, he's more worried about lane dominating against the Beastmaster. So, yeah, where is Jo going to have to farm? I'm not
He's
sure.
going to just fight. He's going to go for kills, go for like a phase drums and just take part in all these fights because he's top lane with the clockwork. And once again, they're looking for initiation. They're looking for kills. And Bleak's just got phase boots. He may just go into the secret shop and die here because he wants to buy those right now. And EG scout him walking in.
Uh-oh.
MSS moves forward.
The creep wave! Oh, comes in the inopportune time. The magic missile.
You got to know that timing.
This is where Merlini says, if you look at the mini map.
Well, it's kind of like your creep waves normally meet like right here.
Yeah.
And their creep wave was coming up, so you should have known that creep wave was like at a similar position. But it's just like something you overlook. You get just a bit excited. You're like, Razor's at the secret shop. Now's our time to strike. But it wasn't quite right.
That thing does have a fairly long cooldown. It's okay. It's not that bad.
The hook shot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 70
it's
seconds.
70 seconds.
It's actually goes
It's
by
like
really
Beastmaster
fast.
Roar, basically.
Yeah.
It just mirrors it.
It's as far as like level 1 ganking ultimates go, it's actually very, very spammable compared to like your normal, your Ravage, your Black Hole, or whatever it may be. Well, Dignitas, they've gone for, like you say, the aura is the pushing power, and we're not seeing any tower attempts taken. And I think this is where their draft was really confusing for me. Their first two picks, Odie and Razor, bad pushing heroes, very single target and not single tower target. They're single hero target heroes. And then you combine that with the pushing VS, Beastmaster, and Enigma. It just seemed like a very just contradictory draft.
Yeah, I agree with that. And EG, I mean, obviously they're not gonna excel in pushing until that Lone Druid gets big. And speaking of that Lone Druid, what is he gone for?
Just boots, phase boots, nothing out of the ordinary. Not seeing any Midas come up, so...
Okay.
To see, I imagine it may just be a Radiance game for it.
Do we have any Radiance yet?
Radiance.
Top lane here. Fog's gonna open up with the Ice Path. The Dual Breath's gonna come through as well as the call down.
Yep.
Bleak, he's dead.
Yep.
Razor doesn't
OD
do
even
anything.
came in. OD's got a mech here. Is he actually going to try and fight this? Fear's there, and there's no Astral Imprisonment now. He's going to drop a Sandy Eclipse. Ice Path catches 3.
They walk into that one.
Luckily, there's no cooldown up.
They're looking for a Black Hole, but Fear's always going to have Song as a way to get
Clockwork's
them out.
here, and he's got Hook Shot. So if the Enigma tries to Black Hole, we could see a Hook Shot just cancel it. They lose PPD. Razor's stealing damage here. 1437.
Song,
Where's
Song?
your... Oh!
Song to
He can't
cancel
get
it.
okay, Song, I'm about to say, he can't get the Hook Shot off. There was a creep in the way. Nicely played, and EG, they just disengage. They say, hey, we won that fight. Why do we need to keep fighting?
They could turn back anytime they want.
Razor bought back even.
Man.
That was a really bad fight for Dignitas. Korok not even showing up. He was just sitting bottom trying to just get some more farm for himself. Not for his team, for himself. And this Beastmaster, it's not a Korok hero, man. At the same time, it was put in an impossible to win lane, so...
Well, meanwhile, speaking of Clockwork, he's going to find himself... Oh, no, that's a wrong person, Astro Infinity, because that battery cell is still hurting quite badly here. And MSS need to get out of there. I'm not sure whether he's going to get the solo kill. MSS, cooldown's going to come through. Ice Path not going to clip the cooldown will, and they do get that one kill. Trading Clockwork for that... Ooh, Beastmaster Work comes in for Korok. That's a decent trade.
Yep, I'll get fogged as well as he comes in. And well, the cooldown from Jo, just only clipping the one here. If it caught a few more with that, maybe we would have seen some further aggression. 1437 got really low there, but it's still Dignitas losing key heroes, key farmers. Like, you look at Infinity, sure he's got this mech, but it's not like they can just push because he's got a mech as an OD. I still feel they don't have the damage.
PPD always warding. Can we get an Entangle? Resummon that bear universe. Let's go.
Jeez.
Hit. No? Okay. More hit. Get your bear out. That's 300 gold.
And Bleak will be pretty happy after his tough time at top lane. No RNG for Universe.
No luck. He's sitting up to 2,000 gold. So I guess it is the Radiance.
Well, Lone Druid not really a Universe hero, but he's been playing it pretty well this game, I've got to say. The one death was, I would say, unavoidable, based on the 3-hero gank, and he's just won his lane like he should and continued to farm really well.
Tier 1 Siege is going to happen on the top lane. Nobody's stopping this this squad here.
Oh, they're looking for Lone Druid, maybe. I know, they can't kill him. Just these two heroes. He's already in melee form. I say they can't. Can they?
Oh, why is he going back to... What?
He's trying to dodge spells, I'm guessing?
I think he's trying to dodge spells, and he's trying to get a little bit more HP out of his true forms as well, because he just turned level 11. But unfortunately, he's out of mana to turn it back because of OD.
What a disaster.
Yeah.
Doesn't actually matter to him in the end though. But yeah, that was if if you time it right, you can dodge those astral
missile?
arcane orbs.
Yeah,
Yeah, magic missile, arcane orbs, and keep yourself alive a lot longer. But I like what we're seeing Dignitas do. They are stacking ancients themselves, so this will be probably just Korok going for this. We're not going to see a fast mech on him. I guess we just see him maybe go for a straight Aghanim Scepter or a Blink Dagger. It's normally when you see the arcane boots on the Beastmaster, it's because he's going like a utility build with a mech to follow it up. But
Right.
if you wanted an Aghanim Scepter, you can just get it without actually having the extra mana, the arcane boots for your team.
Yeah, Necrobook would be okay against this lineup as well,
Yeah.
but scratch that idea. Gyrocopter's got a Helm of Dominator, so thank you for a free Necro.
I feel the arcane boots just don't add much to this team because they've already got OD Aura. None of their heroes are that mana dependent. It's only Korok who's maybe using them to spam a bit.
And I don't think getting for yourself is really that worth it, unless you're a hero that
Yeah.
needs a mana desperately for himself, like a lion, to cast your stuff.
Well, it's nice when you go the mech build because mech costs 150 mana.
Right,
and
but
that's
he's not
mana
going
you
for the
don't
mech,
have. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
maybe
Right.
he's going a pipe, which does use mana. So
That's true.
Is under attack.
If they are going to be doing a lot of just 5-man pushing, then having at least one arcane boots is quite decent. But it just doesn't look like that's Dignitas' way of winning this game or even playing this game from here on out.
I actually think that he's just going straight Blink Dagger, just a way to
Yeah.
kind of solid initiation for his team.
For the time being, Dignitas they're not taking a single tower, and I don't think they really can. How do you push into Clockwork hook shots, Jakira Ice Path, and ultimates and cooldowns? It's just a scary EG AoE combo lineup that can defend towers as easy as pie.
EG loves their AoE. It seems like throughout all these drafts, they never have a draft that doesn't have at least 3 or 4 AoE heroes. And Naga Siren, speaking of her, she's got level 8, doing some harass here, sending illusions everywhere. The one thing I think EG could be doing a lot better of is stacking. They have that ancient with
stacking
one stack.
It's been scouted out by a Hawk though, but they are still stacking it.
Yeah, but is EG stack or JO stacking for himself? Like, where's the
Yep.
jungle being stacked? If
Well,
you-
Universe is just killing it whenever
Okay.
it spawns.
I
So
mean-
there's no real time for it to be stacked, it feels like.
I guess so. Yeah.
MSS going for the 4-star build once again, it looks like. Well, it wasn't him on the Clockwork last game, but it was the build we saw last game from Infinity. As he's picked up a Staff of Wizardry. Any intelligence you can get just to negate the OD Sanity's Eclipse is always going to be nice. But Infinity, he's been very quiet on this OD. He's farmed alright, but it's just like he's sitting on treads and mech now.
How do you be allowed with the OD? Go
I don't
Blink
know.
Dagger and kill stuff?
Look what
you
Korok
just
did
sit
last
there.
game.
I mean, that last game was, the entirety of Dignitas doing well.
Yeah.
Not just the OD, but OD just expected to do what he's doing, sit there, farm, not die, and you'll be happy.
It's 1,500 gold advantage for EG. It feels like, to me, it feels like they're a bit further, like a bit more ahead than that. So, Dignitas actually not doing as bad as as what this game sort of feels like right now. They did use a buyback on Bleak, and I think that's part of the thing is they've got a Razor farming away, and a Razor who's slightly behind is a lot more behind than normal. This is a hero who doesn't do a whole lot, like when you're playing defensive and a bit underfarmed.
I'm telling you, this Razor is not going to do anything. In fact, he's going for BKB, which is nice, except there is Radiance coming on that bear.
Yeah, he's got Relic. He's getting very close to this Radiance, and about 20 minutes in we'll be looking at completed.
Yeah, once the Radiance comes, I think that's when EG decides to push, because so far they don't really need to do anything right now.
I think they defend this T1 tower. I don't see any reason to give up 3 towers.
Yeah, they are definitely rotating things over. There's a song as well as a Clockwork Hook initiation, so there's really no way that Dignitas could sustain this push.
Fear makes his way in. Dignitas is still here though. Fear just going to send in a
Dignitas
Lucian.
needs to just get out, man.
Yeah. I love to Fear try and walk in with a Song of the Siren, and then you can drop all the TPs, so you don't have to worry about the 1v1, 1x1 TPs if you have a Song down.
Ooh, Clockwork
Full
Hook, that's
shot.
going to be finding PPD. PPD trying to stun himself out there. MSS, whoa, swaps Infinity in.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's okay. They do get the kill. No song there just yet. That initiation was suspect. They're going
Buyback.
to try to use call down, but there's Black Hole available. Blink out here. Black Hole on the backside. It's going to find Jail. The Ice Path's going to cancel it. They trade 1 for nothing so far. Clockwork buys back 1437 is low as well. MSS comes back in, but he's eating a ton of damage. Infinity trying to right-click Fog, and Infinity dropping fast as well. Not before he drops his own ultimate, though. Where is the bear? The bear is just striking tier 2 mid right now. They defend their tier 1. Buyback's being used from the Naga Siren as well. The Axis going to go on Fog. They're still going to be okay.
This is a 4v5 fight that EG has
This
taken.
entire game has been 4v5 because the bear hasn't really shown up to anything.
Alright, well, it doesn't get the tier 2 tower. Infinity buys back just to defend this tier 2 tower, by the way. So both teams using a ton of buybacks there, and
Radiant's bottom tower
Dignitas
it's-
get more kills from that fight, but it still feels like it was, like, I don't know how much they actually came out on top of that. Using OD dying and then buying back Who else actually bought back in that fight? We're looking at Clockwork. He bought back.
Naga also buy back, which is somewhat
Oh.
not really a
Yeah,
big point.
that's a non-factor, I would say. I mean, it's farm being wasted on Fear, but it's a hero that doesn't actually need farm to do a whole lot.
Well,
apart from,
he's taking farm right now on the bot
yeah,
lane. So.
maybe he gets his team a mech, maybe a medallion, maybe an urn or something.
But the more important thing is that
It's
right now
OD.
Radiance is up
Yeah.
because Universe wasn't necessarily needed to join that fight. So
yeah, I think looking at the carries is where like you see that fight actually didn't go that well for Dignitas. OD dying and buying back. Lone Druid not fighting and getting towers while the fight was going
Yep.
on.
They also used a black hole, which unfortunately only caught one in it. I think if they caught a little bit more in that black hole, it was a good idea for 1437 to blink behind the enemy and then try to get two with the black hole, but did not pan out so well.
Okay, well, even though Dignitas get the extra kills there, it does EG still slightly ahead, it feels like. And the gold graph does dip down a bit, 1,000 still in Dignitas' favor, but with the buybacks with OD, OD's not scaling right now, which is the problem. This is a hero, like, you can't be sitting on just the mech treads at 20 minutes, at 25 minutes, and right now it feels like OD is not going to be flash farming anytime soon.
And I can tell you that Razor is definitely not scaling
Yeah.
ever, so...
Their two carries just seem like they're both behind. Even though Dignitas are only behind by a small margin, it seems like a lot of that farm that's keeping them close has actually gone to supports. And here's Korok. Korok's freaking rich. He's got 3.6k, but end of the day, he's still a Beastmaster, not a hero that's going to benefit as much from this farm than Infinity. If this is Infinity with 3.6k gold and Korok with 700 gold, I'd say Dignitas are looking a lot better.
How does he even have 3.6k gold? What has he been doing? Farming?
Yes. He was sitting at bottom lane farming for quite a while. He also didn't die in that fight. Like, he got kills, didn't die in that fight. He got ignored, stayed alive, and, well, we see a tower trade. Actually, Universe gets a tier 2 bottom,
And Universe is not done. Like, as long as you don't present a TP, they're okay doing this all day. Fog's going to drop a 2-man Ice Path, and he's going to be okay as well. They got a TP back, and the Bear's going to just run.
well, Universe, can he actually get out of here?
Yes, he can.
Yes, it's
No
chasing.
swap.
Well,
Beastmaster.
we're on bottom river. MSS, Clockwork. Clockwork actually bide time for Universe, it looks like.
Oh, they are going to try to cut Universe, but it's actually Universe cutting them off. The Bear's going to
There's
be
no
back in this fight.
Malefice. Dead.
Oh, one hit and Tango. That's going to be dead. Disruption actually goes on the Bear. That helps them out. They're going to focus on the Bear down, but Bear's got resummoned. The Roar comes in.
Don't
Universe
resummon
still
them.
surviving, still surviving. Gyro's dead. Resummons the Bear, and the Bear
He
is
needs to
still...
not die, though.
Song?
Alright, that's
And
one way to
out
not
of there.
die.
So they traded Gyro. Oh, are they thinking about going back in? I don't know about this.
TPI can leave his bear behind to try to do some Radiance burn damage. Oh, they're going into Roshan
This
Dignitas
is smart.
immediately.
This is smart.
Is the bear going to scout this out? It looks like it's been pulled back to base.
So that's yet another slight teamfight victory for Dignitas. They didn't force
Yeah.
out any buybacks there, but they do get Roshan. So I think Dignitas is now officially ahead, in my opinion. Acceptor's now up too because
Yeah.
Korok's been banking gold.
Korok is rich. How much does the Acceptor make a difference though here?
I think it's really important against more melee hero or low range heroes. So simply for the fact that the
Use it
push,
to kill Spirit Bear, I guess.
I mean, for Gyro, I think Gyro's gonna be a good target. Spear Bear is gonna be a good
Yeah.
target.
It's 45-second cooldown, so actually using it to kill a Spirit Bear is well worth it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those items that's just nice on all accounts. It actually makes Beastmaster tankier. I mean, that's something that we often forget about.
Yep.
But you know, Spirit Bear is kind of getting big as well because he is gonna get a playmail on top. Once you have the Assault Carrier, suddenly game gets quite more difficult.
I find it helped out Infinity a lot because he suddenly got himself up to a 4-staff, which is much nicer as far as item progression comes from him. Can start looking to. I think this is almost like last game. Does Korok go BKB? This game feels like a game where he may need to go BKB against all the AoE.
Yeah, the other thing I'm quite concerned about is that JO's been dying every fight on his gyrocopter. Like, he is farming 22 minutes in. He's only got phase and helm. And it's not like he's not farming well. It's just that he's been participating in these fights, and he's just so squishy that he just gets blown up. He's gonna have BKB in about 500-600 100 gold, but I think it's been really, really late already.
All right, well, I mean, you mentioned it feels like they're ahead, and the gold graph reflects that. Suddenly, they're up by 2,000 gold. Experience, even bigger. Experience is hugely. They're up by 7,000-ish experience. Their actual hero levels is far superior to what EG are throwing at them. Their 3-core heroes are all doing really well, and EG just have a pretty high-level lone druid. Their gyrocopter, not just is EG not farming well, he's also just level 12, and the rest of EG is somewhat under-leveled.
Yeah, the level's a little bit top-heavy. I think Dignitas would rather have Avenge that's a little bit more highly level, because Vengeful Spirit wants to max out the Aura, has already maxed out the Terror, and wants that second point of Nether Swap. Of course, Beastmaster being high level is also nice, because, well, there you go, max Inner Beast. So that's where the aura strat gets fully online. And even though we're looking at OD, who doesn't look like he's doing a lot of damage, he is because of the attack speed aura, the damage aura, and all that, you know, the pair damage he's having. And of course, OD, who looks like a puny non-factor, these auras is helping him hit quite hard.
Man. Fear, look at this. Illusion blocking 2 neutral camps in the enemy jungle from respawning.
Well, just small things, but small things add up.
I mean, you're just denying Dignitas from about a couple hundred gold there, and when you're at this passive stage of the game, you've got Arcane Boots. That's mana you may as well just use. It's level 1 mirror images, and it blocks off 2 camps in the jungle.
Yeah, that's smart. Not many players will even like think about doing that. So.
Yep. Well, he's going to look for initiation on the
Ooh,
BKB. He's got
right
BKB and Aegis though. Do they just straight up kill him twice?
I mean, you got Entangle, right? And there you go, immediate Entangle proc. There's a defensive swap. MSS is tanking up on the front line as well. Bleak's dropping to half HP. Can we get a second Entangle? There is a second Entangle. They will get Bleak.
All right, he's going to be
And
respawning.
Vengeful Spirit, he's going to be dead. No, they're not chasing for the Vengeful Spirit. They're saying we're happy.
Sleep. They're worried about this Enigma coming in. He's got Blink Hole. Not going to be able to catch him out. EG back off, and I think that was actually the right decision to make. There was just too many Dignitas heroes coming in very fast, including Korok. Korok used his Raw sometime recently. Didn't actually catch that one, but...
I think it was Fog that got picked off in the river. Yeah, he got picked off over here.
Ah, yeah.
So
that's what was going on during that fight. So EG, they realized they couldn't actually fight for much longer at top lane. They're going to lose 2 towers for this, and...
yeah, with no song, the hole is basically uncounterable because sure you have Clockwork Cook, but
to Dignitas even, I don't think they can keep pushing high ground here, but they can at least look to swing back and continue farming their jungle and continue getting further ahead and get that BKB up on the Enigma, which I think is actually almost done. Yeah, Enigma's got BKB.
they have no. I mean, Ensnare will still find you and then cancel your black hole, but that's provided that Naga is in position. You got to keep in mind that the long cast.
You still get at least some of the black hole off because
Yes.
it's on instant. So I feel like even if Fear doesn't get caught out and it is throwing an ensnare on the black hole, it still could do a decent-ish amount of work and damage.
It also feels like EG has fallen to victim to the same spells that Dignitas used last game. It was all of these. I'll let you initiate on me, but I have defensive Astral, I have Force Staff, I have Swap. They just juggle the focus around such that EG just doesn't have enough to kill everything. And, the damage coming out from Dignitas cannot be ignored.
Alright, well, Dignitas is going to take another tower. It looks like it's going to be another uncontested tower. EG just don't want to fight this. Jo, like we sort of talked about, just doesn't seem to have the farm he needs to defend these towers with his team. Universe as well, while he got a good time on the Radiance, suddenly we're still looking at no Assault Crest. Sure, we're still early into the game at 26, 27 minutes, but I think this is almost where Lone Druid kind of fell off, because the fights, the action's happening much earlier on in the game, and Lone Druid takes a lot longer to get sort of involved in the action.
Yeah, he's trying to split push for his team, but there's not many outer towers to split push. He is, forcing out TPs though, but TP got cancelled, and he could just, do some chip damage at this tier 3. Nobody's rotating, and do they have teleport scrolls? Yes, they do.
One TP got cancelled. Here comes a TP from the OD, it looks like, and... OD as well as Razor, but this is still just annoying split. Exact same role he played last game with the Nature's Prophet. We're seeing it here on the Lone Druid, although this time there's a lot more weight in his shoulders as one of the main carries for this team, it feels like.
I mean, that's mission accomplished. You drew out 3 TP scroll, one of which got cancelled, but that's okay. And then you draw out 2 more. And he's farming up top. Does he have the thing finished yet?
The Assault Crest?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it.
Where is this gold
He's got
going
most
to?
of the big components. He just needs the recipe as well as the chainmail, which is chainmail.
Yeah, chainmail.
Yeah, okay, I was right. I always get these little weird items mixed up, but I don't know. This is I think
1,000 gold.
Just slowed down a little bit. And EG, you can see the gold graph, they've heavily slowed down. It's 7.5k gold they're behind when they had a lead for almost all of the early to mid game, even if it was a small lead at that.
Yeah, basically they were giving away hero kills to ensure Lone Druid gets free farm, which is nice, but Lone Druid haven't given anything back. He maybe pushed down 1 tower or something like that, but they haven't Grax, for example. They haven't. Ooh, the bear is going to get picked off, which, yep.
Midnight Pulse actually does decent damage to it.
Swap him back into
Can
Midnight
they
Pulse.
actually kill it? No.
That damn thing is fast.
Yeah, it's too fast. But max movement speed with the phase on. Even without phase on, it's at 521, so more or less max movement speed. We'll call it max movement speed. That's a sad bear, having 521 movement speed.
The sad thing is, like, the bear just runs away from the entire 5-man line of Dignitas and okay.
Well, with Raw, maybe less so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Raw and Malefice, Malefice with VS done, you'd think it'd be enough, but just having the 2 supports who don't have a lot of damage output, I guess, not in securing them that kill, but we'll see Jo continue to farm away in this bottom lane. He wants to get some further items of his own. Probably looking towards something like a Butterfly, because unlikely to see either Razor or OD going for an MKB, and Butterfly will negate so much of that damage.
Man, maybe you just go Lincolns. Holy crap. There's so
BKB Lincolns?
there's so much single target focus. Right?
Yeah, it's actually pretty scary.
It's not like a good item on Gyro,
Oh.
but when you're facing against all these single targets, though.
OD's got his BKB now as well. And this is, I mean, you talked about the auras and saying how OD's hitting hard even though it's not obvious. Well, this is why he doesn't need a Hex, because VS and Beastmaster both providing with damage and attack speed.
And Korok's gonna have his Helvin's Halberd finish. I love this item.
Yeah.
It just makes Beastmaster so much tankier. The evasion helps out quite a bit. More importantly, with the Beastmaster Roar and Heaven's Halberd, you disable a BKB carry regardless of whether he's in BKB or not. It's actually scary how
Dire's middle
powerful
tower
this
is
combo
under
is.
attack.
Well, Universe is split pushing away at the middle lane. Uh-oh, he's in trouble though. Malefice is there. Infinity's going to do a lot of damage to him, and he can't TP out because there is the Astral being saved. Raw going to be used. Easy kill going out on Lone Druid there, and he got the tower, but it was just right after the TP was already being cast. So those TPs still go even after the tower gets destroyed.
Yeah, I think the way that EG is playing this, sacrificing a lot of their heroes to allow Universe to split push is not going to work out because JO needs to get,
It might if they catch up
sufficiently
Bleak.
big. Gable could just pop the BKB and go on the other direction because Eye of Storm, he's got Axe Scepter, he's going for a Beastmaster trying to get the roar. He's going to get the
Cooldown
roar
for
off.
15 seconds. They just used it to kill the Lone Druid, but that's such a short cooldown. MSS makes sure he hits that that hook shot to just get him out of danger, and he's on the run now. That's a 50, 60-second cooldown on his ultimate, and Raw back up. So they're going to, it looks
They
like,
just
get
go
this
into the pit? Oh no,
not up.
Roshan's
They'll
not
get
back,
the T2
yeah.
tower and then probably back off for Roshan. So this is the last outer tower. Aegis up for Dignitas. They're 13 kills apiece, but they are definitely ahead right now.
Well, they have to seal the deal. This Lone Druid is still pretty big. Unfortunately,
Has he got the AC?
Yeah, he's got it. Like, he
Okay.
had to sell maybe those GG branches. Or maybe wait
He's
a
got
couple
no,
months
he's
again.
got the recipe. Just the chainmail 550, so he's good.
Okay, he's got it then.
It used to be 650, I think.
Yeah, I think so. That's why I was like a little bit
Yeah,
confused.
That's why I was on the same page. I remember it used to cost a lot more, but got changed around. This tier 2 tower being sort of kept alive a bit longer with an ice path with a few spells being thrown. But MSS, unless he wants to go for a hook shot, is not
Oh,
going
look
to
at
find
that
it.
war range.
Oh, Jared just gets melted. Infinity goes in with an Astral Imprisonment. Everything just destroying EG. Fog keeps himself alive with a Ghost Scepter. And Song of the Siren, not going to do a whole lot here as Fear just uses it for a little bit. But the BKBs on 1437 on Infinity mean that they can still attack during it. And it's Clockwork and Jo both taking a fall. The Gyrocopter, the Clockwork, and EG may just get their high ground siege here. Who cares about Roshan?
They have Eye of Storm with Axe Scepter, so he now strikes tower for a ton more damage. That's the power of Axe Scepter and Beastmaster because you think you're safe behind your tier 2 tower. You have your BKB, you can, basically dodge any nuke coming your way, but you can't dodge a Beastmaster Roar, which is practically just instance. They're going to just destroy the racks, and Evil Geniuses is going to drop a 2-game series.
They have no way of keeping Jo alive once that Raw comes
No.
in because Infinity just force-staffs himself in and BKBs and ulti. They just do everything to make sure Jo goes down, knowing that without him, there's no damage output.
I
He
mean,
is
there's
the
a
bulk of
Bear,
the-
but Bear doesn't do enough right now.
if the Beastmaster's on EG side and someone gets roared, well, Dignitas have answers. They have Astral Imprisonment, they have Swap, they have all these sort of defensive maneuvers, and like you say, it's the same moves from game one, just these annoying heroes that just keep their teammates alive, and it really works out well for Dignitas.
It seems like Dignitas found their mojo,
Yeah.
and EG, well, MSS hasn't found his.
He had a great start. To me, he was actually, like, as far as the early to mid game, EG had that lead, and it was all on the back of MSS.
Right, I agree with that.
Unfortunately for EG, it was somewhat more. This feels like almost more like a tactical loss than anything. I don't think we can pinpoint some horrible. I don't think there was any horrible decision making or just general bad individual plays. I think just tactically, Dignitas had a better all-around game strategy.
The decision to play 4v5 for such a long time for EG, and I was like, alright, you're playing 4v5 until you get your 19-minute Radiance, which is fine. Then you gotta play 5v5 and start pushing or something, but after the Radiance, they just started to keep playing more 4v5. Universe just kept split pushing, and the results were not too good after that.
Yeah, he got damage. He almost got tier 3 bottom towers and stuff. But it's like, well, Dignitas knew they were never going to let him get Raptors. That was the big thing. Dignitas always knew they were making headway, giving up some towers on the side lanes,
But they
giving
were
up
getting
even
kills.
damage on the even this tier 3 tower getting down to 300 HP. It's like, oh, no big deal.
Now Boots travel up on the Beastmaster, so
Jesus.
you're gonna teleport to your own Hawk and get some You know.
His farm is Korok. His net worth is up there with the OD and Razor.
Well, you know, if you ever want to see what a pure Beastmaster looks like, it's not one of those Beastmaster that attacks in the front line with the Basher and the Battle Fury, but
He can
this
get
is-
like Assault Crest for his team now. I
You
feel like that's
definitely
like
can.
your next item almost.
Ooh, the Hawk just ran over MSS. Is he paying attention?
He's in position to go for a hook shot here. They're missing Lone Druid though. I think you just can't contest it. I think EG feel like obliged to contest it. So
BKB
shot
activated
gets
right now.
Naga Illusions or like the Quillbore, something blocked the hook shot. And I think MSS just want to maybe go for an Aegis deal, but not going to happen. Infinity just pops a BKB to be safe, and
They want to fight this. I don't know. 1437 waiting on the wings, but the Radiance is going to get cancelled.
well, he's got BKB and he can just walk in and pop a black hole. There's nothing to cancel with a BKB, and he's got it. Jo, Universe, 2 of the core heroes caught out. The ensnare is there. Fear gets the ensnare off, but even just that second of the black hole is enough to do a decent amount of damage. Jo now, the only hope left for EG as far as damage output goes. He's going to bring down the OD, so not horrible for EG, but they're still on the run, and it's still Bleak chasing
Jesus.
away. He hits hard. He's got himself a double kill, and EG have just fallen apart.
Oh, swap on the ally. Get the
BD,
magic missile off. He's going to
uptown
try to
baby.
TP out. Not going to work there. I'm going to just say Acceptor on Razor is what makes this hero go the next level of
I
damage.
want to see
output.
Refresher right now. 7k gold, pick up that
Mine
Refresher.
as well.
I
I'm
love the
surprised
aggro
EG
back
hasn't
there.
called GG because they
Yeah.
used everything and they got nothing.
EG have shown this in past games where they were behind. They're a team who will really stick it out and fight to the very end. And I think it reflects in well just their general attitude and approach with this team. They're very serious. They want to make this new roster work. And even a game that looks over, they're not going to call GG. Even in a tournament that's not like a LAN tournament, it's not like the biggest of tournaments as far as what they're playing in, but they'll stick it out. They'll try and find any way to get back in this game. But right now, it's a 12,000 gold lead that they've got to climb.
I mean, you know, having the right attitude is one thing, but why take a fight after they just got the Aegis? Like, what does
Yeah,
that actually
that
accomplish?
was bizarre. I think regardless, they're fighting a losing battle here and just thought maybe this is the only opportunity they're going to get. But they fought that fight, and Universe wasn't even there on time. He was still like coming from over in the neutrals and just couldn't show up in time. And, well, Dignitas, this is going to make this group look really weird as far as who's actually getting second place. Because this puts EG, if they lose this game, they're at 2-2.
And, well,
And
Dignitas is 2 and what?
they'll be
and
they'll be
6?
3
3
and 5. But if EG only win like one more game, because let's say they lose 2-0 to Empire,
Which I see happening now.
they've got to verse 4FC. So if they tie 4FC, it will be like 4FC, Dignitas, and EG all sitting around that second place finish. We'll take a look at the group stage after this match, but things will be looking very interesting. And suddenly 4FC will be like, hold on a second, we actually have a chance of advancing out of this group. All we got to do is beat EG, and right now EG looking somewhat beatable.
Yeah, Basher's going to get picked up here on the Lone Druid, which, nice item to have. Not really going to sure if it's going to turn to scale this game. And here we go. Get ready for your sunglasses, because if you look at Bleak, there's some seizure ensuing coming soon.
This
They
stream-
got to tone down the animation for this for this refresher ult on Razor. It
This
literally gives you seizures.
Yeah. BTS stream not advised for people with epileptic conditions.
All right, somebody get that dubstep in the background. Get a disco ball.
What are some flashing lights? We need like some way to change like the brightness settings, like just to put it up like maximum then minimum, just back and forth.
All right. I could
Let's go.
almost.
He's still got 2.4k
I could
gold.
almost feel it.
It's like refresher and then 2.4k gold.
Just turn up your ult, man.
Let's go. They want to push. They're ready to take this fight. They've used the Aegis already, I want to say.
By the way, Korak's got a hood on top of everything he's got.
Jesus, this is just ridiculous.
It's like they're working with track gold or something. And here comes the
Boots
TP.
travel in, and it looks like they're ready to breach the high ground here. The item progression, just something that can't be dealt with an EG. Well, who has buyback? Absolutely no one. This is it. This fight has
No,
to
they're
work
buying
out.
all their items to go for the
Yeah.
YOLO plays.
I think you have to do
That's
that.
the correct play, I think.
Yep. Absolutely. Gyrocopter with the MKB. Fear picked his team up of Vlad for any extra bonus armor and HP.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, this lightning strikes.
My eyes. I feel like I'm in an actual thunderstorm right now.
Oh my god. Holy shit, look at this screen. It's just, alright, the lightning strike is killing the shit out of Fearfierce. Oh wait, MSS, oh
8.
wait, they have defensive swap, you're not gonna get the
Oh
kill.
my god.
We're just killing everybody. Thank you for the free song, they said. Bleak says, okay.
Lumi, I'm getting a headache right now.
I'm getting a headache too.
I can't deal with this. Luckily, it looks like we're only going to see one Refresher Razor Ultimate. As Enigma brings down the lone druid. 4 heroes dead, and if EG weren't going to call GG before, they're definitely considering calling GG right now. Nagas are in fear. Killed in his own channel? Nope.
That was so awkward. Like the song came on, and they're like, "All right, guys, let's go." And then they walked in, they just died.
First Fear went out, he was like, "I'm going to test the voice." He's like, "Oh shit, I can't." Then it's like, MS is like, "What about me? Maybe I'm a little tankier." No, fuck that. I'm getting out of here.
And then the song ended, and 1437 just pulled his, best DGC impression and just blackhole like the whole team.
All right, let's go. EG 2-0'd by Dignitas.
2-0 by Dubstep and Celine Dion. Like, come on.
Yeah, big shout out to Charlie. The team, his team. I don't know if he's still a part of them or not. Not sure. What
Charlie?
his current, is he still with Dignitas?
Charlie's the manager for
Yeah.
Dignitas. Yeah, he's.
All right. Well, Charlie will be very happy with this result as Dignitas 2-0 EG. If it wasn't a grudge match before Lumi, maybe now
It's
it
a
is.
grudge match now.
As 2 former Dignitas players on the new EG squad get beaten down in.
Get thrashed. Backhanded. Slapped around.
Game 2 was close, but once Dignitas got their footing, it was like.
Did you see
nah.
that Razor ult? It wasn't close at all. Bam.
Dignitas Bleak? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that said, none of these Dignitas players actually tagged up as Dignitas. So I think Dignitas is still just trying to figure out what roster works. We've seen them play with Zai yesterday. Today it's with Bleak. In the past it was with Fog before he joined EG. So they're still working things out, figuring out what works. But here we go. Group B standings. Dignitas 3 and 5. DTS 2 and DTS are out. So as it stands, 2 teams will advance. Empire guaranteed in the top 2. The question is, I think Dignitas mathematically cannot advance. So.
Can't they?
Um,
If everybody goes 3 and 5?
4FC will play EG. So that means if 4FC win a game, they get a 4th win. If they don't win a game, then EG are up to 4 wins. So I think Dignitas are actually mathematically out of this group.
Yo, but morally, they are in the group.
Either EG or 4FC will be 2nd place. Unfortunately, we didn't know this before the game. Dignitas, they're out regardless. But we're looking at EG with a 2-0 loss here. Suddenly, it's like they've got to beat 4FC. If they tie 4FC and lose to Empire, they're out. It's 4FC, man. Those guys were legit when we saw them in the past. So
Dude, 4FC, what does this say for NA Dota if Group B has 4FC and Empire moving on?
and they do to disband.
Okay. Alright, with that,
We're donezo.
we're done.
That's it for today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's EG versus Empire. But after seeing EG play today, I am still excited about it. But
It's still a match.
I feel like I feel like even with the 2 loss to Dignitas, EG will look to prepare and say, look, we've got to get at least a win out of this. Find some way of getting out of this Group B.
Take that Elder Titan, man. Go
Like
for
you
the
say,
wombo combo.
they're representing NA Dota right now. And
Yeah.
Liquid will be playing later on. I think they're in
I
Group
just want to know what Grand will be saying about this.
Dude, if Grand Gant was, I don't know. All I ever hear is about how teams are softer than his limp something or other, and that's all I ever hear about Grand Grant. That's his one line.
Okay.
But NA Dota, we'll have to see if they can make a comeback tomorrow. The schedule for tomorrow, maybe Jarrett. I'm not sure. I don't know the schedule. We'll see if Jarrett knows it. No one here knows it. But it's Empire versus EG. I think it's both. There's only 2 matches left: Empire EG and EG 4FC. So it'll be those 2 matches. We're not sure what order. One match will be at 18 CST. The other match will be at 20 CST. So tune in tomorrow for EG's last 2 matches. They've got to win at least 2 games.
Alright, I'm going to let you finish. Tune tomorrow at 4 a.m. PST for DK versus Vichy Gaming for opening match of Ace. That's the match you should be watching.
That's before we play.
Yes.
Well, 4 in the morning.
Forget this. I mean, no disrespect to replay. This is a big match, but
Yeah.
Ace, come on, let's go, guys.
DK Vichy burning Ice against Vichy Gaming. Whew. And this is Vichy Gaming, which has like 2 former DK players, so there's definitely some rivalry there. ROTK was devastated when he got kicked off the team. He had made some very emotional posts and interviews and saying how he never thought he'd have to part ways with DK, and Burning was such a good friend, and now he is going to be up against Burning. So tune in tomorrow, 4 a.m. Pacific time. Don't know what freaking time that is European time. Just figure it out. Yep. If you're not there,
You're big boys.
it's in, I don't know, check your news sites. Join Dota, Ghost Gamers, Team Liquid, whatever you follow. Dota 2 Lounge, it should be up on, so.
Sure.
Bet your rares. Who your rares on? I'm betting on Vichy Gaming. DK, well, I'm not sure. DK actually lost to Vichy Gaming already in the Nest tournament, 2-1.
I haven't seen DK, and Vichy also looks pretty soft. Softer than Grant's. Whatever, but
Graham
I don't
Guns,
know.
limp wee wee.
Yeah, okay,
That's the PC way of putting it.
right, fair enough.
On that note, we're gonna Say goodbye. Good
Okay,
night.
good night.
We've got a going away party for Blitz to
Mhm.
go to.
What's Dota going to Korea?
We'll be casting next one. Well, I don't know if we will, but BTS will be. So, see you guys.